Okay, so what we're doing today is no different than what we did on Tuesday and Wednesday. So you're still factoring, you're still doing the a times c. The only difference is there's going to be something in front of the x squared, the k squared, whatever letter it is squared. So right now, because this problem, there's no use in keeping to go over the things that we've already done. Change this problem to 2k squared minus 8k minus 120. So change it to that. Now, the first step that we've always done every day so far, we had to skip because this was a 1. In front of the x squared was a 1. Now it's not. What can we take out of 2, 8, and 120? A 2. And we know that because they're even, but also because 2, 8, and 120 can be divided by 2. So what I want you to do is put the 2 on the outside and then just take that out. What we're doing this for is to make these numbers smaller so that when we factor them, it's going to be smaller numbers to deal with. So 2 divided by 2 gives me 1k squared. Negative 8 divided by 2 gives me negative 4k. And then negative 120 divided by 2 gives me negative 60. So I know that was the original problem I just made you cross out, but I wanted you to see that sometimes if you take something out, you can end up with a problem that you're more familiar with. So instead of factoring 2k squared minus 8k minus 120, we're going to factor that inside. So do your A, B, C, A, B, and C, and now we're going to do that. The 2 on the outside, we're not going to worry about until the end. So that just is chilling there until we're done at the end. So if I do my second step was A times C, what do I get? Negative 60, because you would do 1 times negative 60, that gives you negative 60. So we're going to find the factors of negative 60. I will do this one for you. And every other problem on here, you're going to have to find the factors on your own, okay? So 60 divided by 1 gives you 60. 60 divided by 2 gives you 30. 60 divided by 3 is 20. 4, 15. 5 and 12. And then 6 and 10. Those are all the factors of 60. There's quite a few there, but we want to list all of them just in case we need them. Okay, now that I have all my factors, I'm going to make my x. So what goes on top of the x? Negative 60. And on bottom, negative 4. So this is what I notice sometimes is whenever you factor out this 2, whenever you do your x, you put like negative 120 down or you put negative 8 on bottom. We're no longer looking at that original problem. We're looking at what we factored here to get these things. So the negative 4 would go on bottom. So looking at my factors, 1 and 60 will give me 58 and 61. So that's not 4. 2 and 30 will give me 32 and 28 when I add and subtract them. So that's not it. This will give me 23 and 17. Not 4. 19 and 11. 17 and 7. And then 6 and 10 will give me 4 and 16. So the only one that would give me a 4 is my 6 and 10. What do you need to do with 6 and 10 to get 4? Subtract. But if I want it to be a negative 4, which one's getting the subtraction sign? The 10. The 10 gets the minus. So if you want this to be a negative, the bigger number just needs to be the negative number. You're still subtracting. 4 minus 10 is still subtracting. But to make it a negative 4, the 10 would need to be negative.
What's the whole point of it if it's already like
Like this up here?
Yeah.
Well, I want to do, just because I wanted you to see, we don't have any on here that you can take out the 2 in the beginning. I altered this one. So our final answer would be k in both of these, plus 6 and minus 10. And then because we took out this 2, we took out that 2 at the beginning, the 2 would just fall right in front of all of that. So if you can take something out at the beginning, you just put it in front at the end. So what's the point of taking this out? We had to find all the factors of 60. There's a lot. if we didn't take that out, if we take A times C, 2 times 120 is 240. You would have to find all the factors of 240, which are a lot more than all the factors of 60. It just is a quicker way to find those middle two terms. It just makes it easier on you that you're not having to find all the factors, and they're big numbers. Okay? But unfortunately, the rest of you won't be able to do this, but if you can, I always take that out first. So, let's look at the next one. So I have a 2, a 5, and a 3. Is there anything I can take out of 2, 5, and 3? No. So, ABC. So when I have my ABC, if I take A times C, what do we get? Yeah, A times C gives me 6, because that's 2 times 3, so that equals 6. So list your factors of 6 right now. You guys do it on your own. Six divided by 1 was what? What's the other factor? 2 and 3. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2, so we're repeating now. Okay, make your X. So I need my number on top. We want it to be a positive 6, and then the number on bottom is a 5. We did the same type of problem yesterday in class. Because 6 and 1, if I take 6 minus 1, I get 5. That's what I want. If I take 2 plus 3, that gives me 5. So both of these could give me 5. But which one is going to give me a positive 6 when I multiply? If you take 6 times negative 1, what do you get? That's not what we wanted. So we cannot use 1 and 6 here. If I take 2 times 3, I get a positive. So this would need to be a 2 and a 3, and they are both positive. Okay, so make your parentheses here. So we have an X in both, and then it's a plus 2 and a plus 3. Here's where it's different from yesterday, all right? It's not just being able to multiply or A times C and there's a number in front. You have to do an extra step at the end. It's not super difficult, but you just got to remember it. I want you to put a big star at the top of your page, and I want you to write bottoms up. Bottoms up. Every other teacher in this hallway uses bottoms up when they factor, that same term. So what that means is if there is a number in front here, this 2, that's telling you that you need to see if you can divide by that. Every other time we had a 1. We never did this before, because if I take anything divided by 1, it's itself. Now you have to make sure there's nothing else that you can still simplify this to. So can I take, so we're doing bottoms, that means put the number out front on bottom. Can I take 2 divided by 2? What's that?
1.
So you could simplify that even more and make that x plus 1. Can you take 3 divided by 2? No, so that's what bottoms up. Move it up. So this 2 just moves in front of our x. 2x plus 3. So the only extra step today, that what we did yesterday, is everything in the blue. We did all of this yesterday. We did everything in the red. We did the X method. We put them in our parentheses. The last step is if this is something other than 1, if there's a number in front, divide by it. If you can't, move it in front. And like 2 weeks from now, I'll say, are we done? And you'll be like, no, bottoms up. That's what people do every time, okay? Because you need to just always think at the last second, be like, is there anything else I need to do?
What if you throw numbers at the end and add up?
If they can't, what do you, like this? Well, if you were to factor this all the way through and FOIL it like we learned like 2 or 3 weeks ago, it would end up like this. Because x times 2x would be 2x squared. Got it? And then x times 3, 3x. 3 plus 2 is 5. Yeah. Okay, so next problem. The more you do this, the more you practice, the better it'll be. All right, so that's why we're doing quite a few today. 7, 29, and 4. Is there anything I can take out? No. 7 and 4, you can't take anything out of those two. So no, there's nothing we can take out. A, B, and C. So I need to take A times C first. When I take A times C, what do I get?
28.
28. 7 times 4 is 28. List your factors. do not try to do it off the top of your head. Make sure you see every single factor. If you miss one, it won't be good. So I heard the first one was 1 in 28, 2 and what?
14.
3, you can't do. 4, and then 5, you can't do. 6, you can't do, and then we have all of them. Okay, I want you to draw your X. On top is the 28, that's your A times C. And then on bottom, we need 29. So I have, my first one is 1 and 28. Can I add or subtract those and get 29? 28 plus 1 is 29. So yeah, we can do this one. 2 and 14, that would give you 12 and 16, so that one doesn't work. 4 and 7, that one doesn't work. So I have a 28 and a 1, or a 1 and a 28. Doesn't matter which one goes in what spot. So what do I need to do with those two numbers to get 29? Add. Plus. We're using an X in here. Plus 28 plus 1. Am I done? No. Bottoms up. Gotta divide by 7. Can you take 28 divided by 7? What do you get? So we have X plus 4. Can I take 1 divided by 7? You can take 7 divided by 1, but can you take 1 divided by 7? No. So the 7 needs to move up. 7x plus 1. Nope. Nope. So if you had 7x plus 1 first and then x plus 4 second, perfect. I did that on purpose because I wanted to make sure you guys knew. Doesn't matter. All right? 2 more. You can do it. 2 more. Next one. A 3, a 17, and a 20. Anything I can take out? Nope. A, B, C. Normally, unless I know it off the top of my head, I mean, there's not much that we can take out of all of them. If they're even, you know you can take a 2 out. Okay, so A times C gives me what? 60. Am I going to waste my time finding the factors of 60, or did we already find those? Yeah, look on the second slide. So instead of using your calculator, look at that other slide, and you can list all the ones we already did. So it's 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4, 15, 5, 12, 6, 10. So I need it to be a 60 and a negative 17 this time. 1 and 60, is that ever going to give me 17? No, that's going to give me 58 and 61. No, that'll never give me 60. 2 and 30. 28, 32. That's not going to give me it. 3 and 20? That could give me 17. What do I need to do with 3 and 20 to get negative 17? 3 minus 20 will give me a negative 17. The bigger number needs to be negative. Okay, so that could be an option. Oh my goodness. What about 4 and 15?
No, that's not.
19 and 11?
No.
Yeah. 5 and 12? What do you need to do with 5 and 12 to get negative 17?
5 minus 12.
12 minus 5. Negative 12 minus 5.
Negative 12 minus 5 is negative 17, so that could work. And then 6 and 10 will never give me that. Okay, which one's going to give me a positive 60 when I multiply? 3 and negative 20, or negative 12 and negative 5? Negative and a negative. So you need the, because this one will give you a negative 60, and we don't want that. So we have negative 12 and a negative 5, or a negative 5 and a negative 12. Doesn't matter the order. Okay, so we have our X that we're using. One's a minus 12, one's a minus 5. And bottoms up, divide by 3. I can take 12 divided by 3 and get 4. So this is X minus 4. Whatever sign was in the middle is what you need to drop down. And then I can't take 5 divided by 3, so move it up. 3x minus 5. Okay, the last one, that is a little bit easy. You don't have to list a whole bunch of factors. I want you to try it. Okay, once you get it, look, turn to your neighbor and see if they got 2. Anybody brave enough to tell me? Yeah.
N plus 2 and then N minus 1.
Okay. What'd you get?
Oh, wait, I haven't saw. I got this.
Okay, you got, okay. So it looks like we got to the point, just maybe the bottoms up is where we're at. So this is our A, our B, and our C. If I take A times C, I get -2. -2, I would get 1 and 2 as my 2 factors. So when I draw all the X, my -2 goes on top. What goes on bottom?
1.
A -1. This is a -1 with B. What do I need to do with 2 and 1 to get -1?
1 minus 2.
1 minus 2. Remember, the bigger number needs to be negative if you want your answer to be negative. So we have a +1 and a -2. We're using N. So I actually asked you guys on purpose because 9 times out of 10 all day I've heard X plus something, or make sure you're using the right variable. So I have N plus 1, N minus 2. We can't stop there though because we have the 2 in front for bottoms up. So I'm going to divide by 2 on both. I cannot take 1 divided by 2. That's going to give me 0.5. So bottoms up. We get 2n plus 1. Move the 2 in front. Can I take 2 divided by 2?
Yeah,
1. So that would be n minus 1. Good? Bottoms up. That's the only new thing that you're doing today. So, hopefully, I think we did the harder ones on the board with the 2 factors that could possibly give you the same answer. But that's it. That's as hard as factoring gets too. There's nothing more that I'm going to randomly show you. Okay? So that's good.